Hello, everybody. Big hey now to all you listeners out there. This is the newest episode, episode 3, I think,
That's right.
of Book the Stern, a Horse-Toothed Jackcast, which is a very clever name. Good job, Tony,
Thank
on that
you.
one.
I try.
So this episode, we're gonna kind of kick off a little spooky season. We're gonna talk about Dead or Dead to the Show, which is some of our quote unquote favorite people that have either died or are no longer part of the Stern Show. And there's a hefty list. There's throughout the Stern Show history, we've had many people pass on that have been part of the show in the past and are no longer, obviously, because they're dead. So let's just have a nice little conversation about those people and our favorite moments and all that good stuff. So I'm Paul. Joining me today and always is my good pal Tony and
Hey, hey.
Nat. Welcome, guys. Let's kick this thing off. So what do you like when it comes to someone who has passed on? What comes to mind as some of your favorite people that have been around and are no longer there?
Well, I mean, I think we should talk about, the recent death of, Dominic the Midget.
Yep, that's a
Oh,
good one. That's a good place to start.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you were the one actually who tipped us off to that, right, Paul? I mean, because I
I
didn't
think it was
hear
Tony who
No,
brought
it was
that up.
me.
He
that
mentioned it.
was
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to the
Um,
show a lot. The regular
and
show.
where did you hear that? 'Cause I don't remember them mentioning that at all.
They mentioned it early on in the week. I think it was Monday. When they
Okay.
first kicked off the week, I was listening. Yeah, I was up early and doing a lot of house chores and stuff. So I listened to the show while I'm doing all that stuff, and I'm getting
Oh,
ready,
cool.
go do all my whatever I got to go do, run around, pick up deliveries and stuff. But so I was doing all that, and then he mentioned Howard mentioned it. He brought it up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, speaking of a long time, uh, friend of the show and frequent guest, he has passed away, and it was Dominic the Midget. I forget who they said told him. It was his manager, I believe. I forget the guy's name.
Oh,
Sean, was it Sean?
got
No,
a
Sean
manager
didn't
still.
manage. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I forget
wow.
who his manager was. But yeah, so there was a guy who basically manages him and Beat. I
Oh,
forget
okay.
who's doing it right now. It changes up from time to time.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he let him know, and I guess he passed. I don't. They didn't say specifically. I guess it could have been COVID related, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's gone, unfortunately. And the other thing is, a lot of times people with his disability, or with his condition, they don't have a long lifespan. Like little people, sometimes they get a lot of bone related issues and other diseases. So maybe he just had some problems. And
And
yeah, so unfortunately, Dom's no longer with us. It's sad.
just so many. I guess just obviously the biggest one obviously is Beat with his Dominic shit in his pants. It's just it makes no sense, but goddamn, is it funny? Just
Yeah.
whenever, like Howard would bring that up, it's like, oh, Dominic is the one that shit in your pants. That wasn't Beat. It was Dominic. It's like, how does that even work? It's so great.
He's gonna have to
I
be
love
shitting his pants from beyond the grave now.
Yeah. Phantom shits in his pants.
It's all
It's good.
shit was in my pants. In my.
I'm trying. Well, they've been on the show together, right? Before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was plenty of
The very
funny
first
moments.
time Beat came in was with Dominic.
Was with
and,
Dominic. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, they came in together, and
He brought him diapers,
Yep.
remember?
Yeah.
and then that other time he brought him diapers, and that time with Sal in the studio where Sal was dressed up as Santa, he was there as well, if you remember.
Oh man.
When Sal put Beat on his lap. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's sad. Yeah, that he's like again, he's no longer with us. Dom, long time because again,
When was even the last appearance of Don? It's been a while, right? Because he
Yeah.
has been in
Yeah.
forever.
yeah, definitely
so-
since the pandemic started, I haven't seen either one of them. So.
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine, and Dom's been doing the show since the '90s. So
Oh man.
yeah, because Beat came in the early 2000s, if to my recollection, like 2000 or
Correct,
maybe
yeah.
it was '99. Definitely late if it was, but yeah. And then Dom had been coming in for a little while before that. It's just
Oh, Tom was around before Beat. I don't think I knew that.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Or they came in at the exact same time, but I think Dom had been in there once before that.
I thought they were introduced together.
Oh, is that right? I don't know. We haven't listened to that clip in a while. Do you remember? We used to listen to that one a lot.
saying I thought they were kind of brought in together.
It might have
But
been
then
that.
Beetlejuice kind of like took center stage because I mean he's Beetlejuice.
Well, plus he has microcephaly and all that, so they had to explain his conditions.
Right.
So, yeah, but I think with Dom, I swear Dom had been in at least one other time before. Like, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I know, man.
I forget about a lot of that era. So I'm sorry, Paul. Go on.
No, yeah. Just that's something that's new to me. Like I said, I always remember them being introduced together. So he was on before. What was the draw of Dominic? Just because he was a midget? Like, what did they have him on for? Do you
Well,
know?
it's because he would engage.
Yeah.
Yeah, the company that he was
Midget
with.
tossing together, right?
Right, they would do midget tossing. You got it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah, and they were under the same management.
Right.
Huh. Okay.
So that
So,
they worked the same party scene. Like they would let them
Right.
do midget tossing. They
yeah,
would have
and
them
they
do
would
like,
travel together.
and they'd have them with
Same
like strippers sometimes and stuff,
hotels
things like that.
together,
Oh
work the
man.
same like bar circuit together. Wherever midget tossing is apparently happening in America, they were there.
Yeah, man, it really makes you wonder, like how, like do they just look around? Who's looking around for like midgets to go toss? Like, do they find them? Do people go to? I don't know. It's crazy to think about. Like, how do they find Beat? Was it because of him walking around with his mom? It's like, goddamn. I
Actually,
really
I've never
wonder the
known that
early.
full story, dude. I'm curious myself
Uh,
as to how the first time they discovered him. How, when, why.
yeah, like, and was he calling himself Beetlejuice then? Like, where'd that name come from?
They kind
Uh,
of do
s-
explain that in that when they're talking about that, because I guess it was kind of what they'd call him in the neighborhood because of the reference to
oh,
the movie Beetlejuice. So
uh,
yeah,
huh.
that's how he got that name. Beat.
And like by Beetlejuice, they mean the part at the end where Beetlejuice is literally his head is shrunken. You know,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Good stuff.
yeah.
It's always funny
Actually,
when Howard would talk about the Zika virus. He's like, "Yeah, I'm all for it. We get more beats." It's like, oh my god, uh, it's good.
that's messed up.
Oh man, yeah. So I mean, okay, so we have our good friend Dominic who's passed away. Um, I mean, but it's hard not to go into. Obviously, we'll have our own. I'm sure Eric the actor
Mm.
episode, who was obviously a favorite. But I mean, thinking back, I'm thinking like Nicole Bass,
Oh
which
yeah.
was who brought so many like just I don't know great moments to the show, especially with Fred the way he would do his and it's just it was so great. And I don't know, like it always made Howard laugh. I don't know. I like when they make Howard laugh. It's because Howard's always making us laugh, so it's great to hear him have a
Hmm.
chuckle every once in a while. And yeah,
Oh,
just I
that's
don't know.
like thinking it back old school.
Oh yeah, it's great. And I don't know. Nicole was always such a good sport too when it comes to them making fun of her, and it was I don't know. Hers was always to me it was always kind of like a letdown, or just I guess more like a sad tale because like when was she ever really happy? Like she had that messed up moment with her husband who like who died after having sex with her. It's just like it was so messed up, and her wrestling stuff, and I don't know. There was obviously many funny moments with her, but it was like God, she had it seemed like a tough life, you know.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
she just loved working out, and she was always just she was huge, and just the way she looked, and I don't know. I love Nicole, and it was I guess in a way like when she passed, she was finally like kind of happy. 'Cause I think she settled down with a woman. I think they said.
You know what? She's the one I actually know very least about. I didn't actually come to know who she was until Private Parts. You
Oh,
know, you
yeah,
know how they would have those little
a little
segues in
promo in between.
between.
Yeah,
Yeah, like exactly. So I mean, after that, I was like, who's that? Like I was
yeah.
curious to know, like that. That's kind of unusual. That like especially for the Stern show back then, it was all about like having a certain type of woman on there.
Oh, you mean either a porn whore or a stripper,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or some chick who wanted to get tit implants? Actually,
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I think I first learned of her like in like wrestling days, like old school wrestling days.
yeah.
Like the '90s era, where she had like a small thing. But yeah, just I don't know, hearing her on the show, and like I said, she was always such a good sport. Like she, you know, the way that they would make fun of her, she never took it to heart. She just, took it in stride, and it was, it just made her very, entertaining, and just hearing her talk, and like I said, just the way that they would talk about her was great. And like I said, it was definitely more of the sadder tales of the show. Um, so yeah, no, she was great.
So would you say that's your favorite, like, whack-packer who's passed then?
I guess yeah, I would think so. Just I mean, well, I mean, like I said, obviously aside from Eric, but yeah, she's one of the top ones just because she's inadvertently she would bring the laughs. Obviously the Stern Show would bring those laughs out. Not not necessarily like she was funny. It was just them making fun, which is it's sad to say, but yeah, she was a good one.
You know, it's so
Um,
funny. I don't really hear that many people kind of standing for Nicole Bass,
yeah,
so.
like in real life, she really didn't have too many people on her side. Which is kind
It
of sad.
sucks too because she was really fucking hilarious every time she was on. I mean, dude, I was just listening to.
Yeah.
She went to Vegas in 2004 when they did the Artie basketball thing, and they were all in Vegas. If you remember that thing where he played
Yeah.
basketball against some chick, well, she was in the
Oh yeah.
crowd and she got in a fight with like Melrose Larry Green, and they kicked him
Oh
out.
my god.
He
Oh
was
my god.
antagonizing her though, and it's because
Yeah.
he was kind of a dick sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Small side story. I did meet him once in on Melrose out way back in the
Oh
day, in
really?
the early
Oh wow.
2000s. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys that, but
Did
way
you
back,
approach him?
actually,
How'd that work?
you knew me back then, but we didn't. I don't
Yeah.
remember. You weren't around like for that. I think it was me and Rick who were there. We used to go to because we used to go to
Okay.
Fat Beats a lot. We used to go to this record store out there, and
Uh,
I could tell you a lot of stories about that. But this particular time, we saw him out there with his signs and all his shit,
oh
and
no way.
how's Howard Stern stuff. So we're like, I
Uh,
drove by and I honked at him, but then after when we parked, I was like, hey, dude, he's like, a block and a half down. Like, let's go hit him up real quick. So Rick and I went walking, and we were like, I forget, we was like smoking cigarettes or something. This was back in the day, so we used to do shit like
uh,
that. Cloves, we used to smoke cloves, and so we went up and we just started bullshitting with him, and
oh well.
so actually he's kind of a dead to the show right now. So now that I'm bringing him up at random, he's not one of my favorites, but
Uh,
just as a side note, fucking Melrose Larry Green, yeah, I met him. Like, and again, he was cool with us, but I know that he can be a bit of an antagonist, and he was seemingly being an antagonist that day with Nicole Bass. And
oh man.
yeah, so I think eventually even she got kicked out. I forget. I was listening to this the other day again while I was like doing all my chores and stuff and all of my daily stuff, and I didn't get through the whole thing because it was actually very long. But she was definitely getting in fights, multiple fights that day. I don't know if it's because everybody was drunk too or what have you, but
Yeah.
it just seemed like one of those things where she was being picked on because, like you said, I don't think a lot of people were there standing for her, really giving a
Yeah.
shit about Nicole Bass. But she was, again, I think she was funny and she was chill, like you said. She took a lot of things in stride and she didn't get
Yeah.
her feelings hurt really easily. But people like to pick at her, like. And again, Fred is just doing Fred, so I never consider that anything
Yeah.
outlandish unless he outright says something about not liking somebody. But his
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
was always great, with her is always
Oh,
hilarious.
totally.
His Herman Munster
Uh,
thing, that's so awesome.
yeah. So good. And then, like, I don't know, the time that Arnold was on Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
and was talking about her, and like, I don't know, like you could almost hear like the pride in her voice when he was talking about her. It was when he brought that up to her, and it was great.
Mhm.
He said there wasn't too many like highlights, I guess, in Nicole.
Right.
And whenever they did, it was always good. So yeah, I said, rest in peace, Nicole. It was fun when we had her.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, just I mean, like I said, there's so many that have come and gone. And even like we even talk about like people that are banned nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you've mentioned a couple, and like I'm trying to think who
The immediate
who they
person for
were.
me who comes to mind is Gilbert Gottfried. I know
He's been banned.
yeah,
Is
You
there
know
any
why?
other Gilbert?
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I was like. Wait, Gilbert Gottfried's been banned?
Yeah, if
Like,
you notice,
do
he
you know the
hasn't been
reason?
on the show since maybe I
Yeah.
think it was 2012 or 14 or something like that. Was that? My memory's fuzzy about these things, but
I mean, yeah,
Natasha.
I remember like one of the more recent ones was there was the Jewish German lady that he like I guess had a limo with or something, and like he like, was obviously making like a lot of Jew jokes. But that's like do you know why he got banned or what was the reason
Actually,
for?
yes, I do. Do you want to tell this
Let's
story,
hear it out.
Natasha, or should I?
mean, to my understanding, it's because he fucked with the food
Yep.
that was at, you
Correct.
know, at this, and you know how Howard is when it comes to germs and
Food.
everything
Please
like that.
explain.
So, I mean, I don't know if it had something to do with him, like, the thing is, I mean, there are people who are even unclear if he actually did it or if
Yeah.
he just joked that he did it. But it
What do,
doesn't matter
what do they
because,
think he did?
like, spit in it. Like,
Oh,
you know
wow.
how they always have desserts
Or shoved
at
his
the end?
fingers, or
Fingers?
just all kinds of
Yeah, like,
gross things.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, wasn't it like spit though? I
Yeah.
mean,
Both.
think it
I
had,
think it was both.
or
Oh,
like he
wow.
touched it, stuck his fingers. I mean,
Something. Yeah.
yeah,
Something
because you know how
disgusting.
they always are talking about how they have like cupcakes and like
Yeah.
muffins and bagels
Mhm.
and things like that. So they think, like again, they I've heard like both sides where people think that either he was just joking that he did that or he really did. But it doesn't matter in the end because you know how Howard is when it comes to
Yeah.
fucking with food, you know. So
Oh,
Understandably,
wow.
I would not. I would be just as angry about something like that. I would not be okay with
Yeah.
it.
Because you always hear like of him talking about how Johnny Carson banned what's her name? Joan Rivers.
Oh yeah,
And like he just like, why just let her back on, and then Jay Leno continued it for some reason.
right,
So it's just like, really, like he's held a grudge on for this long about like something like with food. Like I don't know, that's crazy that he
right.
would like keep this going.
but Joan Rivers was actually a lot deeper. I
Yeah, yeah,
think
totally, it was, but
that had to do with like he felt like that was a betrayal, like her having her own show.
beyond Fox, yeah,
Right.
he was threatened
Like
by
that
it.
was
Yeah.
like competing, with his.
But
Kind
then
of,
like
kind of
yeah,
is,
like
isn't it?
yeah, and then like, but yeah, then Jay continuing it for some reason when it had nothing to do with him.
Like that.
Oh no, no, I'm not saying she shouldn't have turned it down. It is competition, but and of course you should take it. Why would you not? They're offering
Yeah.
you a bunch of money to do a show, but I'm saying
Right.
like, understandably, he's gonna then kind of be like, okay, well, we have to compete. Now, I know you could do it in a friendly way. You don't have to be an asshole about it, but apparently he wasn't exactly the nicest dude. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or he could be. Huh?
Again, that's what we heard, that it had
Yeah.
something to do with food.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since.
Now, whether or not that's
Wow.
the actual 100% truth, no, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I assume so. I mean, it sounds reasonable, or at least I believe that that he joked that he did it and he really didn't do it, but they believed him because it was hard to determine whether or not he had or he hadn't, and then because of that they banned him. So that's what I hear.
wow.
But I mean, he hasn't been on the show, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's true.
Yeah. Seems like it is. God
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. Yep.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, kind of disappointing too because he always was like an entertaining guest.
Yeah, he really was, and he really clicked with Howard, and Howard liked his sense of humor, and just how outrageous he could be. So that's kind of a bummer. Yeah, it's too bad.
Like my top 5 absolute moments in the show, a lot of them are just when Artie and Gilbert were there for the news. That's all they had to do was
yeah.
sit there and like
Yeah.
make fun of the news. It was just hilarious. Anything that came out of their mouth was hilarious, dude.
Yeah. That was good times.
Yep.
And who was the other one you mentioned? Elliot Offen. Which one's that?
Oh, Elliot Offen, right? Elegant Elliot Offen. He, the guy who used to cross dress and go up there acting like a maniac. And I guess, okay, he got banned because he threatened Howard, like in a real legit way, like, I'm going to fucking kill you,
what?
and was telling him,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to hurt you, and, like, basically, I mean, yeah, Elliot was like that. He'd go off on a lot of people, but he finally crossed the line and was legitimately threatening Howard in a way where Howard was legitimately
Okay.
afraid that he was going
Yeah.
to try something. And ever since then, he's been banned, so he doesn't come back. That was sometime in the 2000s. Forget exactly when.
Yeah,
Wow.
but if you look up, videos about him, the one thing that will stand up is his frequent use of the, word
Right?
right,
Gangsta talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
how Elliot Offen.
which is pretty hilarious coming from like a really, like, like a guy who looks methed out in a dress.
Oh,
Yeah, and he's still at it. And when I found recent videos of him online, he's out there trying to hustle for money and still
Boy.
cross-dressing and stuff.
He identifies as trans or anything. I think
He's just a cross-dresser.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
damn.
He's a weird one. He's a weird one. So,
Yeah, I mean, another one like that comes to mind, like I said, is he's more of a caller, but I brought up Hansi, and Hansi was like, I don't know, he was pretty entertaining at the time. He was always like, you know, you could tell something was kind of wrong with him. Not only in his like speech pattern, but just I don't know, like his personality. Like, oh, something's wrong with this guy, and it was weird to listen to. And then like, yeah, he would start like begging for stuff. Like I remember him always begging for like WrestleMania tickets, and like I think Howard even got him into a couple of WrestleMania shows because Hansi was all about wrestling. And so like, and then after a while, like Howard would be like, "Dude, you're scaring me," because I think he would start like talking about his daughter. I think at one point, or I forget why Howard's like, I gotta ban you because you're weirding me out. And like, yeah, and I think during the social media, he would like even like say like I'm Hansi from the Stern Show, like they all do, like Hyper Eric does nowadays, obviously because he's getting all that cameo money because he's on the show, obviously. So yeah, Hansi was just another one that would like said he kind of eventually started to kind of weird you out. You're like, oh man, maybe he should get banned. He was like talking just weird. And you guys remember Hansi, obviously.
Yeah, quick. No, I was gonna say I noticed he hadn't been around, but I just figured he hadn't been calling in or something came up, or maybe he's got a life or something. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that he got even created. Like I remember there was a time where I remember hearing that he had been using, but Eric does this all the time. High Pitch does this all the time too. Like where he's using the show's name in order to get free things or to get into places. So I remember Howard going off on him about that and being like, I don't know, like where they were on the border of being like, I don't know, dude, maybe you don't be doing that. Maybe you don't associate with us anymore. But I didn't actually outright hear anything happen. But then you're saying also that there was this period where I guess he was stalking his daughters. No, that's fucking.
Well, no,
crazy.
he said he wasn't stalking. It was just more like, I think he had threatened to like, I don't know, said like if you don't do something, like I'm gonna like find them. I don't know. He said something weird like that, and Howard was like, "Whoa, man, okay, like I need to like you can't be on anymore if you're gonna be saying stuff like that." So it was like he like kind of crossed like a line. Obviously that you don't cross with Howard.
That's pretty bad.
Like he said that like we can't do that. Because he even said like you're scaring me, and it's obviously it's obvious Howard knows what's entertaining, what's not, and when you do something like that, it's like okay, you got to be done. So he got a little too comfortable, I think, and said some stupid crap, and got himself banned, and it's been years since like anyone's heard of him, and like I'm not one to go say hey what's Hansi up to these days. It's just
like I was gonna say, not to interrupt, but I'm having trouble remembering which one he is. Like
he's the big fat middle
dude, and he lived with his parents in their basement. He was just like another whack-pack loser, like they all were. Yeah.
Like, how do you narrow it down? I mean, the name. It's obviously like I remember that, but I'm like, okay, who is that? Like, which one was that exactly?
He was
really into wrestling,
right?
And he would like I don't know he had a very distinct voice. Like maybe if you heard him, you might recognize his mannerisms and stuff. But yeah, he was like all he was the caller. I don't think he ever got into the show, and they never actually met him in real life.
Yeah, they didn't.
And he was only around I want to say for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was just like I said, just one of those guys that kind of rubbed you the wrong way. Just like man, why is he was entertaining for a little bit, but he would kind of whine a lot.
Era.
Yeah, like I said, he would.
Was he around during the Artie era?
Was he?
He might have been on the back end, but I don't think so.
Like, towards the end.
I think it would have been like the very back end, like late 2009, and it was like a few good years, maybe up until like 2013 or 14. But he was definitely around. Yeah, maybe a little longer because I swear he was still around when Eric the Midget died, which was 2014, right? So
yeah, I think you're right.
I think he was still doing the show around then. So like it had to be like a 5-6 year span that he was calling in. But again, he never, like Paul said, he never went to the studio or anything like that. To my knowledge, either. He did call in pretty frequently, though. I mean, like maybe like Eric
almost every day.
Oh yeah, Eric level of frequency for a while. I mean, Eric the Midget, not High Pitch. Well, High Pitch, they both do. So same, about same. But like, he was weird because you definitely heard him. He had like a stutter, and he kind of reminded me of somebody that I've known in real life, but I can't think of who. Somebody went to Pioneer with me.
Oh.
Yeah, some dude who he was like that. He was like Middle Eastern, and he had a bit of a stammer, but he wasn't the guy that I knew was skinny and not fat like Hansi was. And Hansi would be like, he'd be calling on the phone.
I know who this is, but I'm just like,
you do. You've heard Hansi before for sure.
You know, like I said, it's just not. I mean, because I'm pretty like versed in all the wack-packers. It just for some reason this isn't. I don't know why, but it's just not ringing a bell. It's like, you know, there has to be something kind of like definitive that they do that kind of makes them stand out to me forever. You know.
In my brain, I want to say he was even on the show up until like 2016, and I know for a fact you heard some clips with him before with me when we've been like driving around listening to.
Recently, you think? Huh.
Maybe 2015, but it was like definitely like I said. I know for a fact 2014 when Eric died that he called in.
You know what? I'm kind of wondering if, like, you think if I Google that, when did Hansi get banned?
Yeah, just Google it because my memory is known to like not be good.
I mean, going back to wack-packer deaths. I mean, who would you say was probably like the most impactful for you guys?
As far as deaths, I mean, is it not just like people who don't do the show anymore?
Right.
Oh God.
Oh man.
Hank
Dangerfield, yeah.
Yeah.
Hank.
He was like what, 39, I think.
Yeah.
When he died.
Yeah.
And didn't he like even say like I don't want to live to like 40? I think at some point.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys just kind of dark and abysmal like that. He didn't give a shit though.
Yeah, no, totally. And he even recorded that thing like, "Hey, I'm Hank. I'm dead." Like he had that the little the thing just to play after he died.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I think obviously one of the major ones to affect me was Eric, and like I remember like thinking like when all throughout like Eric's reign of terror, he was like, God damn, this guy's such an asshole. Like he's so ungrateful. Like this little bastard is getting all this stuff, and like he was handed stuff on a silver platter, and it just was never grateful for it. But then, like when he died, it's like, oh man, what a bummer! Like I'm sad that he went, and it's like I didn't like him at the time, but goddamn, he was so entertaining, and God, it was just I don't know, it made you really feel bad for, I didn't wish for him to die, but just like God, this guy's annoying. But when he died, I'm like, oh man, that's a bummer.
I felt the exact same way. Like there was a point because Tony was binging so much freaking Eric the actor, like and just there was a time where it was like when we were listening heavily where it was just like it was like he was calling so frequently. It was like I felt like I was almost getting inundated with him, it was just like non-stop Eric the actor stuff. But then it's like you said, when he died, I was just kind of like, oh man, now there's never going to be any more Eric the actor bits anymore. That kind of sad, like I totally missed him.
Goddamn, just some of the highlights of Eric. I don't know. He's had so many like crazy moments of like, just like I said, I want to do like an Eric episode with just like, the werewolf in New Mexico.
He deserves his own,
Yeah, totally. And the hit on that guy, you know what to do.
Yeah, dude, that was the best.
There's just so many great Eric moments. To his, the American Idol stuff. It's so good.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, even so, moving on to, we had there was an original Bigfoot, right?
Yes. And the original Bigfoot died before the current.
Yeah, he was like an actor. I remember he did a couple movies that I've seen. Mm-hmm. Like he was in The Devil's Rejects. He did Big Fish. I remember.
Well, he really had legit gigantism. The original Bigfoot, not like the new Bigfoot doesn't. He's just a big, weird, hairy freak. Right. But that guy was a legit giant. Like kind of like the guy who was in Happy Gilmore or whatever. It wasn't that guy, but he was like that guy. And so
I didn't know much about the original Bigfoot, and then once the new Bigfoot came onto the scene, it was like forget about it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like if we were to like take a death poll, honestly, I've had him at the top of like the wack-packer list forever now. Like, I just can't believe he's still alive.
I'm surprised he didn't have like a suicide by cop moment. To be honest with you, he was the guy that I was gonna bring up, like, because he. Well, I was gonna say like he's had so many incidents with the police, but he's also like very mentally ill, and he gets entangled with a lot of people who are trying to like bilk him for his.
And he's got a bunch of health issues too.
Yeah.
I mean, let us not forget the most horrifying stories like about him, like literally leaving his toilet bowl full of blood. I mean, like this stuff made of nightmares. I mean.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the scariest story about his apartment for me was that one about all the spiders being in the one room, and it's like, oh my god, dude, no.
Well, plus well, he had like his caretaker that didn't like move out at one point and was like locking themselves in the room.
Cleaning the house.
Yes.
Yeah. So he's just kind of like, like I can't even imagine like a caregiver who's just kind of like, what do you call that? Just kind of like bumming it in their home.
Yeah, like they said, they locked themselves in their room.
I am a caregiver, so I really can't imagine that.
I'm so saying it's not an ideal situation.
No.
I mean, you're living in a house with a dirty, like, toilet, a filthy fucking shower, spiders.
Yeah, they have like a shit rag where they wipe their ass with.
God.
Yeah. Man.
Well, because didn't who was it who went to his house? Was it Lieberman or who? Somebody did it.
No, it was Wolfie. I think.
Oh, it was Wolfie. Yeah, that's right.
Embedded. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was. Oh,
like,
it
those
sounded
are
really
always
bad.
great. Those what does he call that series?
Embedded. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love each and every one of those.
Oh, we should do an episode about that, you guys.
Embedded. Yeah.
Yes, because there's so many good embeddeds. Like Wendy.
Wendy.
Oh God.
That's a great one.
It's just like they're all so gross. You know, like Jeff the drunk. Oh my God,
dude, Jeff.
It's just like God, it really does make you feel better about your life, whatever's going on. God, at least I'm not living like that.
Yeah, if like Sal's life doesn't make you feel good enough about your life because he's got it too good, then just go to a wack-packer. You'll feel a lot better.
Oh my God.
Like amazing to me though is that like okay. Bigfoot and Wendy, like, yeah, their house does exactly what you would imagine, just like dilapidated and gross. But like, I was surprised when I seen clips of Beetlejuice and Gary the Conqueror. Like their bathrooms were like pretty. They're clean.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Gary has like a caretaker as well, right? Like he has a guy that comes over. Because I know Gary has a job, and like at Burgerville, is that what it is?
Yeah, Burger something.
Yeah, he has his own little place. He's doing well.
Sounding burger place that's not out here.
Yeah, I don't think it's out past like the East Coast. Because Gary lives in New York, right? Albany, or no? That's Jeff the Drunk. Where does Gary the Conqueror live?
No, he lives
Somewhere
in Washington.
There, right? Oh, is it Washington? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so yeah, maybe it hasn't come over here, Brokerville. Or maybe it has. God, I want to say like I've seen a Brokerville.
Yeah, no,
I don't know, but yeah, like he lives there, and like I said, he has his own place, and yeah, I think Gary's like he's doing okay for himself, obviously, for being what he is. I don't want to say retard because that's.
He's pretty high functioning. He's like well, he's full retard. Like, but like if you ever saw I Am Sam, he's kind of I Am Sam in it.
Yeah,
like he's got an apartment and he's got a job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, totally. He still smokes. He hasn't burned his place down. So
yeah, in spite of his horrible health issues, he's another one. Like, how the hell is he still alive? He's like emphysema, smokes.
Okay.
God, yeah.
People that I would put on the list of like, why aren't they dead yet? It's like. I would say, okay, Bigfoot.
Oh yeah.
Jeff the Drunk. Okay.
Oh my God,
he's got a lot of medical.
How does he not have like psoriasis of the liver?
Dude, he's had a stroke and everything, and probably more than one for all we know.
Yeah, and his dead arm. He lost it like in a car accident, right? Is that how he lost his arm?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would say High Pitch Eric.
High pitch for sure. Goddamn.
I mean, because he's got like diabetes and he's still like
He stretched out
extremely obese.
his fucking operation was the gastric bypass.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, like let's see.
Well, you even mentioned Beetlejuice. It's like,
Yeah, actually,
his affliction. Yeah, like it
Beetlejuice
been
is like, I mean,
because
I
he
can't
is
believe he's
is
still
he
alive.
considered a little person? Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
He has to be, right?
I mean, the thing is, his what do they call that what do they call it?
Microphangelin. What is it called? I forget.
Mitochondria?
There's some
No,
term for that. Yeah.
I
No.
think
Oh wait, his
mitochondria.
what? You're talking about Beats condition?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's called microcephaly.
Cephaly.
microcephaly.
Yes,
Thank you.
microcephaly. That's what it's called.
Is that head? What's a cephaly?
Yeah, I
Brain?
guess.
What
I
is
don't
that?
know. I think it's yeah. I don't really know what it stands for in the scientific
How do you
sense.
spell that?
I just know what
Micro.
it's MICROCELAPHY. I think. I don't
Yeah.
know for sure.
Oh, it starts with a C. Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Normal sized.
Microcephaly.
Okay, yeah. Abnormally small
PHALY.
head. Where a baby's head is much smaller than expected. Because the baby's brain
And at the
grows.
same
No.
time, he's still like a little person.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, from what I remember, and I only my knowledge is just limited to like Todd Browning's like movie Freaks. But from what I understand, the majority of people with that condition are little people. I mean,
Huh.
so
I'm looking it up. Sorry, facts about it.
I
And
mean,
yeah, they have
it
smaller
it's
heads.
pretty fascinating. Actually,
Smaller
you know who
pinpoint.
was actually really who was really knowledgeable about that, like when I was listening to an old episode, was Ron Jeremy, because apparently
Oh,
before
really?
he was in the pornography business,
Wow.
and um, he apparently, I think he majored in abnormal psych, is what
Huh.
he was saying. Yeah, I had no idea. And so he actually knew Beetlejuice's condition, like right off the bat,
Wow.
without them having to even tell him.
Dang. Oh yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like Beat, I don't know. Obviously, he's the way he is, but goddamn, it just led for I don't know, just so many like fun. I mean, we'll have a Beat episode, I'm sure. But goddamn, there's just so many Beat episodes, moments that we, yeah, obviously cherish and just can't help but go back to and listen to. Like one of my favorites is the game they play with him, where and I think it's just called The Answer Is Five. And they just ask him like, what comes after four, Beat? And and like there's a little promo they go like, Beat, just say five. And he's like, 13. I don't know, it just makes me crack up every time.
So
Or
fucking silly.
like Beetle, how do you pronounce the number five? And he'll say that like 13. Just it's so good. Yeah, we'll definitely have to have a Beat episode
Oh yeah,
uh,
dude.
for sure.
I
And
always thought like, that must have been really strange for the viewers when he first came on, without
yeah,
having to explain his condition. They must have been really like confused when they're
like
interviewing
what's
this
going on here?
person. They're like, what is
Yeah,
he like? Like why is he like giving such strange answers to things?
yeah.
Like
It's great when when Chappelle was on. I remember one time
that
he's
was
like, yeah, no,
nice
me and
Met
B go like fight
Chappelle.
crime. And like you would ask him like, do you do that, B? And B's like, yeah, we go fight crime. Like so just agreeing with him. Oh, it was so great. God, I love Beat.
I think one of the
And
best
it was
times
good.
Beat was in studio with somebody famous like was probably Bill Maher. Do you remember that? Where they
Oh,
had
Yeah,
the
okay.
that was.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
my
he tried
god.
to have like a whack pack politically incorrect, and that just kind of like that really fell apart at the seams really fast. Because like, I mean, as it is, like Richard and Sal have trouble reining them in for like to do the prank calls. I mean, they have to feed the
Oh my
answers to
God. Yeah.
them through their headphones, and as it is, not one of them could ever seem to get what they say right. I mean, one of my favorite wack-packers who died, Blue Iris, even she couldn't, like, it's not even like she was a slow adult. She just couldn't, for some reason, ever get any of the things they fed to her right.
Oh yeah, there you go, Iris, man, Blue
Iris, yeah, you know, she's one of my favorite wack-packers who passed away. Like,
now let me ask you guys: have you guys ever looked up any of her scenes?
Actual pornography?
Yeah.
Like, no, you know what?
Well, kind of. I think I've seen some of it by accident, but.
Did you really? No, I've never like purposely like looked out for it. So.
I know I heard part of one once, but I don't remember if I saw it or just heard it. Like, I know it was something involving a delivery guy or something. It was gross sounding from what I remember.
And she wasn't really like that old, right? She was only like
she was only like in her 50s. Yeah, she just sounded and looked really tore back.
Like very old.
Dude.
She really sounded haggard, and yeah, Nick, I was saying, like I said, I've not looked up her scenes, but God, it doesn't. It sounds so off turning, like hearing them. It's like, man, people like really got up to this stuff, and oof, yeah. No, I'm afraid, guys, to like look up her stuff.
I mean, she's like the woman, like, to me, for being an adult actress, like an adult film actress, like for some reason she never came off as somebody who was like unnatural to me. Like, she always said the strangest things to try to get men off, and I think that's why I liked her so much, because it was like, is this supposed to be arousing? Because it like came off like a woman who had or a person, I should say, who had no idea what is like arousing in the slightest bit. Like, she would say the most off-putting things, like she soaked through her Depends, and like I mean, maybe for her like niche audience who are into like, you know, granny fucking, like maybe that sells, but like I don't know. I never. She's just so like unintentional. I don't know. It's like I mean, except when it was like Rich and Sal obviously feeding her lines, but when she was actually trying to be sexy, because they gave her own show where people can call in and talk to her and have phone sex with her, and even then she still sounded so gross. Like, I love Blue Iris.
Yeah, no, she was always great, and just, I don't know, like the prank calls, even like the one that one that stands out is I mean, obviously, we could bring up all these, the crackhead Bob, when he called in like the cab, like I'm drunk, and they're like, where are you? Well, I'm on Tomino. Like, they couldn't, they couldn't understand him, and like Blue Iris calls in like, my son is drunk, and they're like, okay, where is he? And and they're like, I don't have any money, but I'll suck your cock. And the guy's like, yeah, no thanks. I'd rather stick it in a meat grinder. Like, hangs up on her. Like, oh, it's so great.
I mean, like, her voice literally sounded like that of like, I don't know, like
a really old lady,
chain smoker.
Oh, it really did, yeah.
And to my knowledge, I don't even think she was a smoker or anything like that. She just
I don't know, I don't know the cause of that, like, that affliction of just sounding like really freaking old.
100.
And even like looking up. Are you guys there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did you see I posted actually a link to her grave?
Yeah, I did.
In the chat. Yeah,
like she's
buried in Silmar, dude. Huh?
Yeah. Well, even in the photos, she doesn't look like super old.
No, she was 62. So, like, damn. So she wasn't very old.
Oh, wow.
62.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the time that you heard her on the show, she was in her 50s. So yeah, she sounded.
Yeah. I was not aware of that.
Wait, we're in a
fashion industry.
Oh, the fashion industry.
I mean, that's what it says. A 62-year-old woman from Burbank, California, formerly employed in the fashion industry.
Well, I guess she was. She did say she used to do some other things, and I don't know what they are. But
I looked up a list of deceased wack-packers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's a few. Like, so there's Rapping Granny.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Rapping Granny? Joey Boots, obviously.
Yeah, Joey.
Oh, yeah, Joey Boots,
Yeah, we
right?
have Riley Martin,
Oh yeah, Riley,
Riley
man.
uh,
Martin. Oh my god.
Evil Dave
Who
Letterman.
loved Riley
Yep,
Martin?
Evil
Huh?
Dave. Dude,
There's a
I
couple.
miss
I'm trying to
Riley's
think.
shows.
Do you remember Celeste? Which one was that? Celeste.
Yeah, she was that one. She was actually,
Keyboard
I
with her
think,
lips?
on that same panel that one time with Beat and when Bill Maher was there. I think Celeste was there.
Oh,
One
really?
of the last
Oh, wow,
appearances
okay.
she was
Yeah,
there
you're
for.
right. I
Shame.
remember asking you that too. I'm like, who's this woman?
Yeah,
Like,
she doesn't
Oh, wow.
do the show anymore ever, and she's
she's
real
dead,
old
yeah.
school. Yeah, well, I mean, but
Yeah.
she hadn't. I mean, even post like she didn't. She's like an old school show regular from back even before I was like a regular
Dang.
listener in the late '90s
Yeah.
and early 2000s. So
Oh,
she's
wow.
old school, just like old school Bigfoot was, and what's that other guy? The guy who used to blow the smoke out of his eyes. He's dead too.
Oh, there's Cliff Pallet.
Yeah,
I
Cliff
remember
Pallet.
some Cliff Pallet.
Yeah.
There's Fran the singing psychic. I don't know if I remember that one. Fran the singing
Sounds
psychic.
vaguely familiar.
who is
Fruity
that one?
Nutcase. Oh, that was Joe Cancer. Oh, Ken and Keith Callenbach. I remember.
There
that
you
one.
go. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Callenbach. Ted the janitor. Man, that's real fucking
Dude.
obscure.
Yeah.
Rick Green, Ted janitor. Oh man, yeah. So there's a few.
So I guess Melrose is still alive because they didn't say his name on there. He's not dead, I guess.
Oh yeah, man.
Shit.
So
man.
there's not whack pack material. There's speech impediment man. Yeah, he's good. Woody, I like Woody.
Oh man.
Oh man, Yoko the clown. Yeah,
Oh Yucko. Yeah, he's pretty much dead to the show too. He doesn't ever call in anymore.
Well, yeah, because I mean he's doing his own thing now. He has.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen. Did you guys ever watch
Brickleberry.
Paradise PD?
Oh, our Paradise Key. No.
Paradise is actually really fucking funny
I
on
haven't seen
Netflix. Oh man, it's actually really good. He's he's knocking out a part on that one.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Yucko
yeah.
sometimes. He's hit and miss with me, Yucko. I like. There's times where
The
he's
Yoko stuff,
hilarious.
yeah, some of it's funny. But the Roger Black stuff when he's not Yoko is just it's really sad.
Yeah.
that's
This is another mess up
when we
life.
get to like the feud episodes, I'd say like probably one of the most difficult for me to watch feud. It was with him and Gary. I mean,
Yeah.
like that was just. I mean, it wasn't even like. It was just.
Yeah,
sad.
that one where he tried to like attack Gary, right? And then Gary came back like tenfold
Mm-hmm.
and like was
Yeah,
talking
like,
about his like
really.
ex-wife, and it was
He
just like,
took
man,
down his whole fucking life
he
essentially.
did. Yeah, it was really sad, and like Yoko had no comebacks, and it was
It was
Yeah.
painful. Like I don't even
It really
really
was.
like listening to it because it's like there's
Yeah.
not. It's not as I don't know.
it really did make it sad for sure.
It did just like I don't
Oh,
know.
man.
Then the sad dirty clown shtick just kind of just like goes out the window and
It really, it was an era, time for. It was an item of its time. It's kind of past. I feel.
Yeah. I used to like when they had that show on MTV too. Though I used to watch that sometimes, like when he just go around, say
Yeah,
stupid
talking to
shit
people. Yeah.
Yeah, the Man on the Street
Yeah,
bit
it
was
was
great,
actually
but
good.
everything else was just kind of lame. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So I mean, when we still have our. I mean, there's even people we haven't heard from in a while. Like when was the last time we heard from Sour Shoes? It's been a really long time, right?
It's been a while. Yeah, I haven't heard anything
Yeah.
from Sour in a little while.
It's messed up because I mean I love his Gary and his Artie
Dude,
impressions.
he's great.
Yeah.
Well, since we brought up Gilbert as someone who's like a non-wack-packer who hasn't been on forever, like I personally miss Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
I mean, I love every
Yeah.
single
He was always
episode
great.
that Richard Simmons was ever on. And I wish he would come back, but he's so reclusive now.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening in
No.
the near
And
future.
even just like hearing the story of when he went to Howard's place and was like, what is it, throwing like cucumbers in the pool or something like that? Like just acting all wacky. Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally see him doing that. I mean, because he's
Yeah.
never not on.
Dude,
Yeah.
he really. That's a guy
I
who
mean-
doesn't know how to be off ever.
No, you can't turn it off at all. Yeah.
He's just one of those people who's never not on. I mean, and that's another thing. Like, I love that Howard at least attempted to try to get like the real Richard Simmons to like talk during an interview, but it just
Right.
never happened. Like I
Yeah.
mean, we get little snippets, but like, we never really got to know the real Richard Simmons. He's
Yeah, it's
just
like he mentions, like being obese as a child, and
mhm.
obviously that's why he
It's more
is
kind of
where he
like common
was.
knowledge.
Yeah, and just but you never really got more deep than that, like his love life
Yeah,
or
that
anything like
exactly.
that.
That's the kind of
Yeah,
thing like you want to know,
yeah, totally.
what is, what is Richard Simmons?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
who is Richard Simmons?
Yeah.
Like he's an enigma,
Oh
but
man, especially yeah,
I
especially nowadays.
I love him though. He's
Yeah.
a treasure. No.
Yeah, and you know that they used one of his clips for one of my favorite prank calls they ever did, which is that, hillbilly one. My name is Cheryl and I'm your daughter. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
god.
Uh,
God, I love that
so-
call.
like he sounded so serious too. And I'm your daughter. Like so matter of factly. Oh god, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Good old
So I
Richard
mean, like,
Simmons.
I'm thinking back too. There's did you guys ever get like? I mean, like I said, I got into Howard. I want to say like early 2000s, maybe even like 99. So there was the whole John the Stutter and Stuttering John.
Mm-hmm.
Like differences. Like I know Stuttering John's the one that went on to do like Jay Leno and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, when I
there's
was younger,
John
I
the
used to get him confused.
yeah, me too. So John the Stutter was the one that I think like Fred would often make fun of a lot, like I
That's him.
like that one, right? That was John the Stutter, right? And so
Yeah.
but so Stuttering John later on was the rockstar hair guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So like I said, I did get like confused sometimes because they were both stutterers and they're both named John. So
Well,
it
like
just
that,
Right.
threw me off,
John was the one that was just kind of a show caller and regular, and Stuttering John actually worked for the show in some capacity, wherein he started out
okay.
as an intern and then he moved on up and then got different jobs, and then, like you said, eventually he went to go work for Jay Leno,
Yeah.
and that was the end of that. But yeah, Stuttering John, he was all right. The reason he got popular was Stern back in the '90s, and that was the era when I first started listening. So I know it better than you guys would in that regard. But like he was the one who used to do the man on the street bit, except he would
That
also
was his bit too, right? The antagonistic man. On the
right.
street.
And he would go. Well, he would go to except he didn't need clown makeup for it. But he would, but he would just go. And the other thing was though, he'd go to red carpet events and stuff, and he'd just stand there
that's
and
right.
ask
Yeah.
like the most obnoxious and fucked
Asinine
up questions.
Yeah.
And people started to get to know him after a while, and they hated him for it because they'd see him coming and they'd be like, "Oh shit, it's a Stern Show guy!" Like, run. I don't want to talk to that guy. But he was good at what he did when he did that. The problem with John was much like Jackie or somebody or some of the others over the history of the show. He got a bigger head than what he was actually worth, and he thought that he was he thought he contributed more to the show than he did, and he wanted more than he was worth, and he ended up going on to do other things, and then that fizzled out. So he should have stuck with what he was good at, which was just being an obnoxious dick. Although I say this, but in full like honesty, I bought his audiobook and everything. I still support him in that sense. So good.
Didn't he like diss Howard in that one?
He talked a little bit of shit, but honestly, he was kind of even-handed about it. He says positive things just as much as he says negative in there.
Huh. What did he say?
I mean, it's a lot, but basically he says that, Howard's a bit of what it is the gist of it, I'd say, is that Howard's can be a little two-faced, which you've heard from some people, including people like Artie. But that at the same time, he did have him over to his house and do a lot of stuff with them and, would be cool with them. So, he didn't hate the guy and he understands why he does what he does. But he creates sort of a toxic environment. So I'd say that that's what I've heard other people say.
A little bit of it from your end,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember he kind of felt like he speaks about kind of having the same kind of like I guess ambitious kind of quality that he has, like that Howard has.
Mm-hmm.
I found that to be kind of. I mean. I think that's giving himself a little bit too much credit, but I mean, whatever. What do I know? I mean, I'm just saying, like, he really he has a kind of big ego.
Yeah, he does. Even now he does. If you look at his Twitter feed and everything, and there's people in there to this day still giving him just as much shit as they ever have, saying that he's a fucking loser and a failure. And he just lets the one thing I will give John is he doesn't let that bother him. He just lets it roll right the fuck off his back and keeps on doing him. So in an odd way, I don't really think he's the funniest dude or whatever, and I think he's made some dumb choices as far as careers go, but I do respect his I don't give a shit attitude, and as far as his opinion, like what people's opinion is of him, he doesn't let it phase him. So
the only thing that turned me off, like when I heard like overheard
the audiobook,
right, was just like he's kind of one of those people who has that attitude that of like, you can basically accomplish anything, if you just like on it badly enough, and it's like I don't know. I'm not one with that mentality. I think.
I agree with you.
There's a lot of people who want something badly and work their ass off and still never. I think a lot of it is luck or being at the right place at the right time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that kind of turned me off about his kind of attitude. But it sounded like, okay, but. Don't you think you kind of got lucky?
Oh, he did, and a lot of people will point out that he's the ultimate example of that. He's one of those guys who probably shouldn't have a famous career, but does,
Yeah.
So.
Wasn't he like I think when Howard came to LA to do the christening of the the show,
like,
didn't he like approach Julie, I think, or did something with him?
Yeah,
that recent time in LA, he did. He showed up in the lobby and started some shit.
Just it makes you wonder like what was
well,
going on
it's
here.
like what a lot of people were attacking him on Twitter at that time too, and it's like because I follow him on there, and they were saying like dude, look at you, you're still out there attaching yourself to Howard's name, and using it to try to get attention for yourself. So they're not wrong. I mean, that's exactly what the fuck he's doing.
Right. Damn. Yeah, no, totally. And just like, man, you had to, how to do that. Like,
Yep.
Oh man. So God, there's, so many we can go into. There's, Lenny Dykstra, Fred the Elephant Boy.
God.
Which you haven't heard in a while. Asian Pete. Snapping Ed.
Yeah.
And then I know you brought up before Angry Alice or Crazy Alice.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many good stuff.
Yeah, Will the Farter.
There's Miss Howard Stern. We haven't heard
Jeff
from
the Vomit Guy.
Miss Howard Stern. That's right. It's been a long time, And you know what? I recently was looking her up, out of curiosity, because it's crazy. Like her daughter, I think, is like a full ass adult now, right?
Oh man, yeah. Because they had that. God, when she got pregnant, I'm trying to think of. I think it's like when Sal very first came on.
Jesus
Christ!
I
forget how young
it's been a while.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Real long time.
Oh yeah, it was because. That was the whole apology thing, right? The whole because Sal was saying like she got drunk and had a black guy, that was that whole thing.
That started the whole apology.
Oh my god, his apology.
Hey, this is Sal Governale, dude. Oh my god.
That was all because of Miss Howard Stern.
Right? Yeah.
And I just love how everyone in the room was like, "Dude, Sal, what the fuck are you talking about?"
Right.
Like,
oh my god,
hear what you're fucking saying? Like, what is wrong with you?
He's still trying to defend it too.
So right, and they play it nowadays. His apology. Oh, it was so great. Hi, this is Sal Governale. Like that one wasn't good enough. You gotta do it again.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that was amazing.
That was so good. God damn it. So much. Fuck. So much.
You know who was a more recent one that I want to bring up real quick, and is you remember? Did you ever hear more recently Matt from California? He was a weird dude, and he kind of like just stuttered a lot.
Was that the one with the midget wife?
I don't know if she was a midget, but he said she was on disability and she had a bunch of ailments.
Had a lot of health problems.
Right. I think she was a little person. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and she passed away. Like not long
shit,
after,
that's what ended up happening. See, I don't know. I was listening on and off at the time, and I stopped listening for a little while.
The thing is, we took an interest in him in particular because one, he sounded like a guy from around where we're from.
Yeah, because he was always kind of giggly, right?
Weirdly giggly.
Guys who grew up from around here in Cali and shit, and then on top of that, a lot of her health problems mirrored some of the things that I have.
Mhm.
So it's like we kind of found like their whole dynamic interesting. So we took an interest in them in particular.
Plus, wasn't he her caregiver as well, and like
Yeah,
getting that
I think
further?
so.
Yeah, so that's interesting, dude. I
Yeah.
was like, holy shit, that's so weird.
Yeah, no, I think,
Matt from
I think
California
she
might as well be
was-
me, you know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think she was a little person, and
Wow.
yeah, she had all those health problems, and he was her caregiver. And I think, yeah, I think his wife passed away at some point, and yeah, he stopped calling in. But
Aw.
that was
I didn't
another
know
one
that
that
was
was
why.
kind of sad. Yeah, because
Yeah, I'm actually kind of bummed out now. You
God.
know.
yeah, I mean, you have to
I
be
mean,
the
because
bearer
like
of
I
bad
said,
news.
she
Yeah.
had a lot of similar like health conditions that I have. Only, I mean,
Oh, man.
I'm not a little person.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say
like-
you're.
I'm
That's
not a
it.
little
That's
person.
why I didn't get on the show. You're not a fucking midget. God damn. Why couldn't you be a little person? What's your problem?
Oh, damn!
Shrink.
It's
No, I'm
not
just
too
kidding.
late, guys. Not too late.
She's over 5 feet. God damn it. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
man.
I'm too big, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, you're good. You're good. You're sweet petite the way I like them. You're fine.
Man, I'm getting away with something here.
No,
But
no,
yeah,
you're good.
but
You're
yeah, like I
good.
said, it was yeah, that was like so, yeah. I think even they had a recent replay of him, and I remember like thinking like, oh man, yeah, I think they mentioned that yeah, like I said his wife had passed away because of her marriage problems, but
I didn't know that. That sucks, man.
yeah,
Well, man, if he's out there, I doubt he'll ever see this. But Matt from California, I'm sorry for your loss, dude. And hang in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you're doing okay, man.
I
Because
enjoyed him.
that sucks.
you
Yeah,
know?
and he was. That's the other thing. He was a really entertaining guy without trying to put it on too hard or anything. He'd call in and he was weird and it was funny.
yeah.
Kind of reminded me of.
Like a lot of guys from around here. Just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. He just remind me of some guy I would have like gotten stoned with or something. You know.
Yeah.
He kind of reminded me
Yeah.
of. Did you ever watch Syphil and Ollie back on MTV back in the day? How they were just two like sock puppets who sounded like just two dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what he kind of reminded me of too. Like the way he just like kind of be laughing and talking about stuff. Like, what are you talking about? And dumb and stuff. It was funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I found him entertaining. I liked him. That's a
Oh,
bummer.
man. Yeah.
What about that one guy? What was it? That guy who used to work at like the grocery store, Mark the Bagger.
Oh,
Oh, Mark the Bagger.
yeah. I haven't heard from him.
He
in a
would
while.
like jizz in his carpet and leave it there.
That's so
Yeah.
gross, dude.
So
But, like,
nasty.
I think his claim to fame was because that group that sang that animal song,
That sounds familiar.
that's how they're the ones who kind of brought him on the show. Like,
Yeah. Oh, God, Bloodhound Gang.
the Bloodhound Gang.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
right.
I
Yeah.
forgot that they got
He knew
him
one of
on.
the dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He had that strange voice, and he was just
Yeah. And he
like
has
a
yeah.
weird kind of guy, and yeah.
Yeah, he
The
was a
last
weird
time I
dude.
think he was on was it Hollywood Squares? I think when Nikki Glazer was on,
Oh wow.
and he was like he wanted to when she asked if who was single, and he got all excited like I'm single. I think that was like one of the last times they had him on. Mark the Bagger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man, and they did some stuff recently. I know with Medicaid Pete, the
Oh,
Big Dick
God.
Energy stuff.
I love
That
it.
was pretty funny.
Dude, I love when he sang Prince songs when they were doing karaoke. That was the
Purple Rain,
best.
yeah.
Purple Rain, that's
Yeah.
it.
Oh man, yeah, that was good stuff.
For a while, I was following him on like Twitter and stuff, and he'd go live sometimes. Dude, he's very entertaining to
Oh.
watch. That guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Then I mean, there was do you remember Mick the Nerd? He was on for a hot minute.
I don't remember that guy now. Oh wait, that does sound
Nerd.
vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I think he has like Asperger's, and
Right.
he was all into like comics. I think Wolfie did stuff with him,
Yeah.
and he's the guy that would shave his beard once a year. Yeah, I think I spoke to him once on Twitter. I
yeah.
mentioned him. His Twitter's weird. Like he only speaks in haikus on Twitter. Yeah, he's weird. But he's funny.
Hey, that's so many weirdos, dude.
Oh man, Marfon Mike is a somewhat
Marfon.
recent guy.
Like, yeah.
Dude, he's a
Yeah.
weird dude. He still calls in once in a
is.
while too.
They
He's
still have him around, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember he was at Ronnie's roast.
oh yeah.
Oh, was he? Oh man.
Yeah.
I swear, I
think
want to
he-
say he called in post COVID too, and was talking about crazy conspiracy shit. Because he's one of those weird
Oh boy.
You know, like end of the world, like conspiracy nuts. So
Damn. I'm even thinking back like a long time, and we haven't heard of for a while. Fred the Elephant Boy.
no, we have
Yeah, I
not.
was
When's the
gonna
last?
bring him up too. I
Or
was like,
Yeah,
hey,
when's the last time we heard from him?
he's
or
not dead, right?
no.
Like,
No, I don't think so. I think he's still alive. But man, yeah, where the heck is he?
I think he got kind of mad with the show. You know how some people get like that. Like if you remember, Crackhead Bob got like that before he died, and we haven't even talked about him
Yeah.
much. But you know, Crackhead Bob was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that for a while.
Yeah, he moved to like Texas, I think,
Mhm.
and he passed on, and they did a nice little obituary with him. But yeah, no, Fred the Elephant Boy. I think did he get into it with Shuli? I think I don't know. He wasn't.
Could have
He
been.
hasn't been gone that long.
No.
I really wonder what happened with
Shuli,
him.
we haven't
Shuli's
heard
gone now.
from, we
Yeah.
haven't heard from Underdog Lady, my other favorite.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
she only wanted to work with Shuli last few
Mr.
years.
Shuli. Yeah,
I mean, what are they gonna do? I mean, 'cause she loves Shuli,
yeah,
you know. And now that Shuli's not on the show anymore, how are they gonna get Underdog Lady on the phone ever again?
yeah. I mean, all they have is like Wolfie now, who does
Yeah.
like the Wolfpack stuff. But
But I mean, she
Yeah, it's
loves
not the
Mr.
same.
Shuli.
Yeah.
You know?
oh, man, that's another like I feel like another episode we have to get into of like people who have left. Obviously, it's like Jackie, and then now we have Brent.
Brant,
And
Shuli.
now Shuli. So
Yeah.
it's just like God, these people that I don't know leave thinking like the whole world's gonna like gobble them up, and it just never happens. And it's just we'll save that for later, guys. That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, you're right.
It just it makes me angry. like God damn it.
Besides,
'cause
like,
I
you have
think
such a good thing going,
online
you know.
about Brent.
Oh my
Like,
God. There's even like a subreddit that I've been meaning to like share with you guys. That just dives into like their downfall, so to speak. And it's just like, it's infuriating, guys.
Shuli,
was a
on that
mess.
terms, I thought he kind of just went his own way. I didn't know. It was
Like
him.
Shuli had his like comedy stuff, and I know like he had like a couple of comedy records I think that did really well.
Hmm.
But obviously it was because of the show, and
Agreed.
And then like he leaves thinking like everyone's just gonna follow, and it's just like no one. I don't care for Shuli outside of the show,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna follow him and think like, oh, he's one I have to go and follow. Like same thing with Brent, and
No.
like him and his lady and their whole like swinger life, and it's like no, it's not interesting.
That is definitely a
That's
whole
the show.
topic for a whole show. Is people who left
Yeah.
who thought they could have a career after, and didn't
But
realize.
I'm still bummed. I mean, I know there's like all this vitriol towards like Shuli. Like every time I like see any like a comment section, everyone's always talking mad shit about him. I was like, like Jesus Christ, does anybody like Shuli? I don't think he was that bad.
I
No, he
like.
wasn't.
No,
He
you
was
know
great.
what? If I had to say
Yeah.
anything, I think it's that they're anti-Semitic. If I'm being honest, I
Oh.
think they just don't like Jews.
Damn.
like what is this people's problem?
I'd-
Like,
Yeah.
he's not that bad.
Because I think he's
But,
funny too, but I don't. Much like Paul, I don't know that I want to. Like, there's very few people outside of the show that I want to hear just of it on
But
their
like I
own.
said, I mean,
Yeah.
for selfish reasons, I just want him back because, like I said, he had
Yeah.
such a rapport with Underdog Lady
Mhm.
that, like, he was like one of the few people. That
Or even just Howard too, and then like his Jeff the Drunk impression, all that stuff was great. So yeah, it's
and
really
his
sad to
Tan
see.
Mom impression. Okay, that's
Yeah,
another
Tan
one.
Mom.
See, I love all the crazy women, wack-packers. Like, I
Yeah.
love Tan Mom too.
Oh
Like, I
God.
want more Tan Mom.
She's free to be Patricia Marie.
Oh.
That's right.
I need more Tan Mom content.
Yeah, and it's sad that our recent stuff was because Driver passed away. Yeah.
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 Actually, it's crazy that Tan Mom's still alive. She almost died a couple times. So, couple times.
It's just the plate in her head.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that, she fell down a well. All that stuff.
Well, like that, she
Oh,
had all
okay.
those medical problems where she almost like literally died in the hospital
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
years back. It's like, holy shit, man. But yeah, Tan Mom's still kicking.
I'm reading. Hansi got banned on April of 2016.
See, told you 2016. Holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess the
You're
memory's not as bad as it was, as I thought
Yeah.
it was.
good. Yeah. So damn.
yeah. Fucking handsy,
Captain
man.
Jenks. What happened to Captain Jenks?
Oh yeah,
I wasn't
Jenks.
heard from him.
Yeah, I was gonna bring
Yeah.
up Jenks and Ass Napkin Ed only because I haven't heard them in
Yeah,
ages.
yeah.
Napkin Ned.
Oh
I
man.
mean,
Yeah.
Napkin Ed. I
Yeah,
mean,
Ask Napkin Ed, dude. I remember hearing the first time I heard him
So
call him
cool.
was 2002 or three. I know I was working for the county back then, late nights, and I'd be listening to the show like when I'd be getting off my shift or towards the end, and man, I was just like, okay, you're a weird fucking dude, but
Yeah.
entertaining though.
yeah, he's the grossest whack-packer.
Oh God.
I
Yeah.
don't like ever saying it. Like, just ew.
Is
He's the one that
saying-
recently had the didn't he have like worms or something or some shit?
Ew.
Probably, yeah. I swear he
He
did.
did.
Yeah.
They had that whole prank call with what's his name? Fuck, what's the current gay guy right now? Wilding. What's his name?
Chris Wilding, yes.
Chris Wilding. Yeah, and he was like imitating him,
Yeah.
and he
dude.
told him to like stick your hairdryer in your ass, see if that does anything. It's like it was good stuff. Yeah, him, Gay Ramon. We haven't heard from in a while.
Oh
You guys
yeah.
remember Gay Ramon?
Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wow.
Yeah, he was there for
Ham
some
Hand.
really great stuff. Oh, Ham Hands, yeah.
Ham Hands. Yeah, we ain't heard from a while.
Well, no, they did.
Ham Hands is like a one-trick pony. I feel.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
get them
with his,
for
like-
prank calls and stuff these days. Is what
Yeah.
they use them mostly for, which
The
is
Robert
that's
song.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely one. I definitely miss his freaking Iron Sheik.
Oh,
I want more Iron Sheik, Sheiky baby.
yep. Anytime he's on is the best, especially back when
so
Artie
good.
was on the show, dude. Oh my
Oh my
god.
god, so great.
Yes.
Like man, do we know if Daniel Carver's still alive? Freaking
As far as I know, but he
Big
just
guy?
hasn't been on the show in
Yeah.
a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I know he may be dead. I don't know. Well, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
who knows?
I think he's one of those dudes too who seemed way older than he actually was. So
Yeah, wake up, white people.
wake up, white people.
We're missing
God
so
damn it.
many, like, regulars and whack-packers. It's
Oh,
just not
man,
a thing,
yeah.
Well,
Speech impediment man is everyone's.
Oh yeah, speech impediment man.
Yeah, no, so many good people to come through, and
I think we covered
People-
pretty much all of them.
God, we've got to the list. God,
Like I said, I think that's.
we can go on forever. Yeah,
We could, but I think we got like the majority of the important ones anyway, because we even covered a lot
Yeah.
of the little guys
Mhm.
and ladies.
yeah, even some of the more obscure people that I needed to be educated on. So, yeah, good job, guys.
Yeah, like how dare you? You guys were gonna leave out my tan mom.
No, not at all.
I know I felt bad. I didn't mean to leave out Town Mom. We did bring up Crazy Alice.
Would it be? Yeah, good stuff. Anna Barta, goddamn songs.
Actually, you know who I like?
that's-
That I don't know if they still have her on, but I can't think of that chick's name. But the one who does when she does they just have her as a character, but she does Ronnie's mom.
Oh my god,
That
yeah.
lady. Oh, dude, she's
great.
fucking funny. Since we're bringing up females.
That woman is.
I think they hire her from an impression thing. Like, didn't she did like what was it, Little Lupe?
Oh, is
She
that what
did.
it was?
I think she even did Underdog.
Yeah,
I wonder
I
if
know
that's
she
the
does
lady they hired.
impersonations, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that she did.
She was
all
really
those.
good. Yeah, so I wonder if that's one of the ladies I hired.
Yeah, she's hilarious. But
Yeah,
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 I haven't. I think she's still on the as a regular though, so I haven't said anything about
Yeah,
her not being there.
I was gonna bring her up too. I'm like, they don't have Little Lupe on anymore.
Oh no, they
yeah,
don't.
no.
No, she's another one.
Oh, she's I wonder if she's still doing like movies and stuff.
Movies? You mean adult movies? Adult
Right.
films?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't exactly that,
Yeah.
like.
I'm gonna guess probably because I can't imagine she's doing anything else with herself. So I mean, she
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a rocket scientist.
All right. Oh man.
Oh,
Oof, I think that's an episode, guys.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'd like to thank everybody out there for joining us, and we hope to see you back here next week when we do this again. Do be on the lookout. We may do some midweek stuff. The show's been really good. I've been listening to a lot of the main live show, and if you may hear something from me during the week. So
right.
everybody out there paying attention, please come back, tell your friends about us. If you're a big Stern fan, even if you're not, give us a listen. And you guys want to say some final farewells and wrap this up?
Oh no, just like I said, thanks for listening. Hope you dig it, and yeah, hit us up online, and if you have any ideas or topics for the show, yeah, let us know. We're all ears.
You actually left somebody out there who's your favorite.
Who, me?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, let us know who you liked.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, hit us up. And if you want to hit us up, look for us at Book of Stern, AHTJC at gmail.com. Once again, that's Book of Stern, AHTJC at gmail.com. You can get a hold of us there. Drop us a note, drop us a line. Look for us on YouTube as well. You'll find us also at Book of Stern, AHTJC on YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Bye
Say
for now.
Bye for now.